It's a journey filled with twists and turns, ups and downs, and countless opportunities disguised as challenges. But here's the thing, the greatest rewards in life often come to those who are willing to take risks. To step out of their comfort zones and to embrace the unknown. Now I know what you're thinking, risk. That sounds dangerous, that sounds scary. And you are right, it can be. But let me tell you something, the biggest risk in life is not taking any risks at all. Think about it for a moment. Every great achievement in human history, every breakthrough, every innovation, every success story, they all started with someone willing to take a risk. Someone who was brave enough to say, I do not know if this will work, but I'm going to try anyway. Life does not come with guarantees. It does not come with a manual that tells you exactly what to do and how to do it. Life is messy, it's unpredictable, and that's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it worth living. But too many people are paralyzed by fear. They're so afraid of failing, so afraid of making mistakes that they never even try. They stay in their safe little bubbles, doing the same things day after day, year after year, wondering why their lives never seem to improve. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's time to break out of that bubble. It's time to embrace risk, to welcome challenges, and to start living life on your own terms. Now, I'm not saying you should be reckless. I'm not telling you to jump out of an airplane without a parachute or to quit your job tomorrow without a plan. That's not risk-taking, that's just foolishness. What I'm talking about is calculated risk. It's about weighing the potential rewards against the potential losses and making an informed decision. It's about having the courage to pursue your dreams even when the path is not clear. Let me give you an example. Back in the 1970s, there was a young man who dropped out of college to start a computer company in his garage. Now, imagine telling your parents that you are quitting school to build machines that barely anyone owns or understands. That's a risk, is not it? But that young man, along with his friend, believed in their vision. They worked hard, they persevered through setbacks, and they eventually built one of the most valuable companies in the world. That man was Steve Jobs, and the company was Apple. Now, I'm not saying you need to drop out of college or start a billion-dollar company, but I am saying that you need to be willing to take risks in pursuit of your goals. Maybe for you, taking a risk means going back to school to get that degree you have always wanted. Maybe it means asking for a promotion at work, even though you are not sure you are ready. Maybe it means starting that business you have been dreaming about for years. Whatever it is, I want you to understand something crucial. The size of the risk does not matter. What matters is that you are willing to take it. Every time you take a risk, you grow. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you become stronger. Every time you face your fears, you become braver. And here's the secret that most people do not realize. The more risks you take, the easier it becomes. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. But let's be honest here. Taking risks is not easy. It can be scary. It can be uncomfortable. And yes, sometimes it can lead to failure. But here's the thing about failure. It's not the end of the world. In fact, failure is often the best teacher you will ever have. I've failed more times than I can count. I have made mistakes. I have had setbacks. I have faced disappointments. But you know what? I'm still here. And I'm stronger, wiser, and more resilient because of those failures. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is a part of success. It's a stepping stone on the path to achieving your goals. Think about a baby learning to walk. That baby is going to fall down a lot. But does the baby give up? Does the baby say, well, I guess walking just is not for me? Of course not. The baby keeps trying, keeps falling, keeps getting back up until eventually those wobbly steps turn into confident strides. That's how you need to approach risk-taking in your life. You need to be willing to fall down. You need to be willing to make mistakes. Because each of those falls, each of those mistakes is teaching you something valuable. Now I can already hear some of you saying, but what if I take a risk and it does not work out? What if I lose everything? Well, let me ask you this. What if you do not take the risk? What if you stay exactly where you are for the rest of your life? What if you never pursue your dreams, never challenge yourself, never see what you are truly capable of? To me, that's a far greater risk, the risk of living a life of regret, a life of what ifs, if onlys. At the end of our lives, we rarely regret the things we did. We regret the things we did not do. We regret the chances we did not take, the dreams we did not pursue, the risks we were too afraid to face. So I challenge you today to start taking risks. Start small if you need to. Maybe it's striking up a conversation with a stranger. Maybe it's trying a new hobby. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting at work. Whatever it is, do something that scares you a little. Do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. And then when you have done that, do something a little scarier. Take a slightly bigger risk. Push yourself a little further. Before you know it, you will be doing things you never thought possible. You will be achieving goals you once thought were out of reach. You will be living a life that excites you, that challenges you, that fulfills you. But here's the catch. You have to start now. You cannot wait for the perfect moment because the perfect moment does not exist. You cannot wait until you feel ready because you will never feel completely ready. The time to take risks is now. The time to pursue your dreams is now. The time to start living the life you want is now. And let me tell you something. The world needs you to take risks. The world needs your ideas, your creativity, your passion. The world needs people who are willing to challenge the status quo, to think differently, to push boundaries. Every great invention, every revolutionary idea, every world-changing movement started with someone who was willing to take a risk. Someone who was willing to say, this is important, and I'm going to do it even if I'm not sure how it will turn out. Think about the Wright brothers. When they decided to build a flying machine, most people thought they were crazy. The idea of human flight was considered impossible, but they took the risk. They faced ridicule, setbacks, and countless failures, but they kept going. And in the end, they changed the world. Or consider Martin Luther King Jr. when he stood up for civil rights. He was taking an enormous risk. He faced violence, imprisonment, and ultimately gave his life for his cause. But his courage, his willingness to take risks for what he believed in, helped change the course of history. Now, I'm not saying you need to invent the airplane or lead a civil rights movement, but I am saying that your willingness to take risks could have a profound impact, not just on your life, but on the lives of others. Maybe your risk will lead to a new business that creates jobs in your community. Maybe it will lead to an invention that solves a problem for people. Maybe it will simply inspire others to pursue their own dreams. You never know the ripple effect that your actions can have, but I can promise you this, if you never take the risk, you will never see the reward. So how do you start taking more risks in your life? Well, let me share with you a few strategies that I have found helpful over the years. Start by identifying your fears. What's holding you back? What are you afraid of? Is it failure? Is it rejection? Is it the unknown? Once you identify your fears, you can start to face them head on. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Start small. You do not have to make huge, life-altering decisions right away. Start with small risks and gradually work your way up. Each small risk you take will build your confidence and make the bigger risk seem less daunting. Reframe how you think about failure. Instead of seeing failure as a negative outcome, see it as a learning opportunity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me stronger or wiser? Surround yourself with risk takers. Find people who inspire you, who challenge you, who encourage you to step out of your comfort zone. Their courage and success can be contagious. Educate yourself. The more you know about something, the less scary it becomes. If you are thinking about starting a business, learn everything you can about entrepreneurship. If you are considering a career change, research the new field thoroughly. Is power, and it can give you the confidence to take bigger risks. Visualize success. Take some time each day to imagine yourself succeeding. See yourself overcoming obstacles, achieving your goals, living the life you want. This mental rehearsal can help build your confidence and motivation. Remember that taking risks is a skill. Like any skill, it gets better with practice. The more risks you take, the more comfortable you will become with uncertainty and change. When I talk about taking risks, I'm not talking about being reckless or irresponsible. I'm talking about calculated risks. Risks where you have considered the potential outcomes and decided that the potential benefits outweigh the potential drawbacks. It's important to do your due diligence. Research, plan, prepare. But do not let the need for preparation become an excuse for inaction. There comes a point where you have to take the leap. And here's something crucial to remember. Taking risks does not mean you have to go it alone. In fact, one of the best ways to mitigate risk is to build a strong support system. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage you, who can offer advice and support when you need it. These people can be your safety net, giving you the confidence to take bigger risks. But be careful who you listen to. Not everyone will understand your vision. Not everyone will support your dreams. And that's okay. You do not need everyone's approval to take risks and pursue your goals. Remember, most people are so afraid of failing that they never even try. So when you start taking risks, when you start pursuing your dreams, some people might try to discourage you. They might tell you it's too risky, too difficult, too unrealistic. But here's the truth. Those people are not trying to protect you. They are projecting their own fears and limitations onto you. Do not let their fears become your fears. Do not let their limitations become your limitation. Instead, seek out people who inspire you, people who challenge you, people who believe in you, even when you do not believe in yourself. And speaking of belief, let's talk about the most important ingredient in risk-taking. The biggest obstacle to taking risks is not external. It's not the economy or the competition or the difficulties you might face. The biggest obstacle is right between your ears. It's that little voice that says, you cannot do this. You are not good enough. You are going to fail. That voice is a liar, and it's time to stop listening to it. You are capable of so much more than you realize. You have talents and strengths that you haven't even discovered yet, but you will never uncover those talents. You will never reach your full potential if you are not willing to take risks. So I want you to start believing in yourself. I want you to start trusting your abilities. I want you to start seeing yourself not as you are, but as you could be. Because here's the thing, the world does not see you the way you see yourself. The world does not put limits on what you can achieve. Those limits exist only in your mind. So it's time to break those mental barriers. It's time to challenge those self-imposed limitations. It's time to start believing that you are capable of greatness. And let me tell you something, that belief, that self-confidence is contagious. When you start believing in yourself, others will start believing in you too. Opportunities will start to appear. Doors will start to open. But it all starts with you. It all starts with your willingness to take that first risk, to take that first step into the unknown. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but what if I'm not a naturally confident person? What if I'm not a risk taker by nature? Well, here's the good news. Risk-taking is not a personality trait. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned, it can be practiced, and it can be improved. You were not born knowing how to read, or write, or drive a car. You learned those skills, and you can learn to take risks too. Start small. Take tiny risks every day. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting when you'd usually stay quiet. Maybe it's trying a new food you have always been curious about. Maybe it's striking up a conversation with someone you have always wanted to talk to. These small risks might seem insignificant, but they are not. They are building your risk-taking muscle. They are expanding your comfort zone. They are showing you that you can face your fears and survive. And as you take these small risks, something amazing will happen. You will start to feel more confident. You will start to trust yourself more. And gradually you will find yourself ready to take bigger risks. But here's the key: you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing yourself, because the moment you stop taking risks is the moment you stop growing. Life is not meant to be lived in one place. It's not meant to be safe and comfortable all the time. Life is meant to be an adventure. It's meant to be challenging. It's meant to push you to your limits and beyond. And the most exciting part? You never know where these risks might lead you. Maybe that new business idea you have been too afraid to pursue will turn into a thriving company. Maybe that person you have been too nervous to talk to will become the love of your life. Maybe that scary career change will lead you to your true passion. The possibilities are endless, but you will never know unless you take the risk. Now, I want to address something that often holds people back from taking risks: the fear of judgment from others. We live in a world where everyone has an opinion, and thanks to social media, everyone has a platform to share that opinion. It can be intimidating to put yourself out there, to take risks when you know that others might criticize or judge you. But here's the truth: the people who judge you for taking risks, for pursuing your dreams, for trying to improve your life, those people do not matter. Their opinions do not pay your bills. Their judgments do not fulfill your dreams. Their criticisms do not determine your worth. The only opinion that truly matters is your own. Are you proud of yourself? Are you living up to your own standards? Are you becoming the person you want to be? Those are the questions that matter. And if you can answer yes to those questions, then you're on the right track, regardless of what anyone else thinks. Remember, every great achievement in history was once considered impossible. Every successful person was once criticized and doubted, but they persevered. They took the risks. They believed in themselves. And that made all the difference. So I want you to make a commitment to yourself right now. I want you to promise that from this day forward, you will start taking more risks in your life. I want you to promise that you will push past your fears, that you will step out of your comfort zone, that you will pursue your dreams with courage and determination. Because here's the thing: you only get one life, one chance to make your mark on this world, one opportunity to become the person you are meant to be. Do not waste it playing it safe. Do not waste it living someone else's idea of what your life should be. Take risks, make mistakes, learn, grow, because at the end of your life, you will not regret the risks you took. You will regret the ones you did not take. So start today. Start now, take that first step. Make that decision you've been putting off. Have that conversation you have been avoiding. Pursue that dream you have been hiding. It will not be easy. It might be scary, but I promise you it will be worth it. Because when you start taking risks, when you start challenging yourself, when you start pursuing your dreams with everything you have got, that's when life gets exciting. That's when you start to see what you are truly capable of. And let me tell you, you are capable of so much more than you realize. You have greatness within you. You have the power to create an extraordinary life. But that greatness, that extraordinary life, it's on the other side of risk. It's on the other side of fear. It's waiting for you to be brave enough to reach out and grab it. So my friends, I challenge you today. I challenge you to embrace risk. I challenge you to face your fears head on. I challenge you to start living life on your own terms. Because life is too short for regrets. It's too precious to waste on what ifs and if onlys. It's too valuable to spend playing it safe. You have greatness within you. You have dreams waiting to be realized. You have potential waiting to be unleashed. But none of that will happen if you are not willing to take risks. Now, I want to share with you a powerful concept that has guided me throughout my life. It's the idea of the risk-reward ratio. In every decision we make, there's a balance between risk and reward. Generally, the greater the potential reward, the greater the risk involved. But here's the key. The greatest rewards in life often come from taking the biggest risks. Think about it. The risk of starting a business is high, but so is the potential reward of financial freedom and doing work you love. The risk of pursuing a difficult degree is high, but so is the reward of a fulfilling career. The risk of opening your heart to someone is high, but so is the reward of deep, meaningful love. But too often, we focus solely on the risk side of the equation. We become so paralyzed by the potential for failure that we forget about the potential for success. I want you to start shifting your focus. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Start asking, what if I succeed? Instead of dwelling on what you might lose, start imagining what you might gain. Because here's the truth. The biggest risk in life is not taking any risks at all. The biggest danger is not in failing, but in succeeding at things that do not really matter. So I want you to start taking calculated risks. I want you to start pursuing the things that truly matter to you, even if they seem scary or difficult. And remember, taking risks does not mean being reckless. It does not mean jumping into situations without thought or preparation. It means being willing to step into uncertainty, to face challenges, to pursue opportunities even when the outcome is not guaranteed. It means being willing to fail, knowing that each failure brings you one step closer to success. It means being willing to learn, to adapt, because that's what risk-taking is really about. It's not about the outcome, it's about the person you become in the process. Every risk you take, whether it leads to success or failure, changes you. It makes you stronger, wiser, more resilient. It expands your comfort zone, increases your confidence, and shows you what you are truly capable of. And let me tell you something. There is no greater feeling in the world than looking back on your life and knowing that you had the courage to take risks, to pursue your dreams, to live life on your own terms. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but what about security? What about stability? We need those things too. And you are right, we do. Security and stability are important, but here's the thing. True security does not come from playing it safe. It comes from your ability to adapt, to learn, to overcome challenges. In today's rapidly changing world, the most secure people are not those who never take risks. They are the ones who are constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly pushing themselves out of their comfort zones. Because let's face it, nothing in life is truly secure. Jobs can be lost, markets can crash, circumstances can change in the blink of an eye. The only true security you have is your skills, your knowledge, your ability to adapt and overcome. And how do you develop those things? By taking risks, by facing challenges, by putting yourself in situations where you have to learn and grow. So do not let the illusion of security hold you back from taking risks. Do not let the fear of the unknown keep you from pursuing your dreams. Instead, start seeing risk as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become the person you are meant to be. And remember, you do not have to do it all at once. You do not have to make huge life-altering decisions right away. Start small, take baby steps, but start today. Maybe it's having that conversation you have been avoiding. Maybe it's applying for that job you think you are not qualified for. Maybe it's finally starting that side business you have been dreaming about. Whatever it is, take that first step, and then take another, and another. Before you know it, you will be living a life you never thought possible. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when we talk about taking risks, the fear of disappointing others. Many of us have been conditioned from a young age to meet other people's expectations. We worry about what our parents will think, what our friends will say, what society will deem acceptable. But here's the truth. You cannot live your life for other people. You cannot make decisions based on what others expect of you. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who has to live with the consequences of your choices. Your life is yours to live. Your dreams are yours to pursue. Your risks are yours to take. And yes, some people might not understand. Some might criticize or judge you, but that's okay, because the people who truly matter, the people who truly care about you, will support you. They will encourage you. They will be proud of you for having the courage to pursue your dreams. And for those who do not, well, their opinions say more about them than they do about you. They reflect their own fears, their own limitations, their own unfulfilled dreams. Do not let their fears become your fears. Do not let their limitations become your limitations. Do not let their unfulfilled dreams keep you from pursuing yours. Instead, surround yourself with people who inspire you, people who challenge you, people who believe in you, even when you do not believe in yourself. These are the people who will give you the courage to take risks. They are the ones who will pick you up when you fall, who will celebrate with you when you succeed, who will remind you of your worth and your potential when you forget. The fear of not being good enough. Many of us have this idea that we need to be perfect before we can take risks. We think we need to have everything figured out, to have all the skills, all the knowledge, all the experience. But here's the truth. You will never feel completely ready. You will never feel like you know everything. And that's okay, because taking risks is not about being perfect. It's about being willing to learn, to grow, to improve. Think about it this way. If you wait until you are perfect before you take a risk, you will be waiting forever, because perfection does not exist. It's an illusion that keeps us stuck, that keeps us playing small. Instead of striving for perfection, strive for progress. Instead of waiting until you are ready, start before you are ready, because it's in the doing, in the risking, in the trying that you become ready. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person started somewhere. They did not have it all figured out when they started, but they were willing to take the risk, to put themselves out there to learn and grow along the way. And that's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to start where you are with what you have. I'm asking you to take that first step, even if you are not sure where it will lead. Because here's the amazing thing about taking risks. Once you start, once you take that first step, opportunities start to appear. Doors start to open. People start to notice. It's like the universe conspires to help those who are brave enough to pursue their dreams. But you have to take that first step. You have to be willing to take the risk. Now, I want to share with you a powerful tool that can help you in your risk-taking journey. It's something I call the "what's the worst that could happen" exercise. Here's how it works. When you are facing a risk, when you are feeling afraid or uncertain, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And then really think about it. What's the absolute worst case scenario? And if that worst case scenario happened, how would you handle it? What would you do? How would you recover? Most of the time, when we really think about it, we realize that even the worst case scenario is not as bad as we feared. And more importantly, we realize that we have the strength, the resilience, the ability to handle it. This exercise helps put things in perspective. It helps us see that most of the time, the risks we're afraid of aren't as dangerous as we think. And even if things do not go as planned, we have the ability to adapt, to overcome, to try again. Because here's the thing, failure is not the end. It's not a dead end. It's a detour. It's a lesson. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, to come back stronger. In fact, I argue that failure is essential to success. Show me a successful person, and I will show you someone who has failed many, many times. The difference is they did not let those failures stop them. They learned from them. They grew from them. They used them as stepping stones to success. So do not be afraid of failure. Do not let the fear of failure keep you from taking risks. Instead, see failure for what it really is, a necessary part of the journey to success. And remember, every time you take a risk, every time you step out of your comfort zone, you are growing. You are becoming stronger, more resilient, more confident. You are expanding your horizons, increasing your opportunities, moving closer to your goals. So I want you to start seeing risk-taking not as something scary or dangerous, but as something exciting and empowering. I want you to start seeing it as a path to growth, to success, to fulfillment, because that's what it really is. Taking risks is how we grow, it's how we learn, it's how we discover what we're truly capable of. And let me tell you, you are capable of so much more than you realize. You have potential within you that you haven't even begun to tap into. You have dreams waiting to be realized, goals waiting to be achieved, a life waiting to be lived to its fullest. But none of that will happen if you're not willing to take risks. None of that will happen if you are not willing to step out of your comfort zone, to face your fears, to pursue your dreams with everything you have got. So I challenge you today. I challenge you to start taking more risks in your life. I challenge you to start pursuing your dreams, even if they seem impossible. I challenge you to start living life on your own terms. Because life is too short to play it safe. It's too precious to waste on what ifs and if onlys. It's too valuable to spend doing things that do not truly matter to you. You have greatness within you. You have the power to create an extraordinary life. But that greatness, that extraordinary life, it's on the other side of risk. It's waiting for you to be brave enough to reach out and grab it. So take that first step. Make that decision you have been putting off. Have that conversation you have been avoiding. Pursue that dream you have been hiding. It will not be easy. It might be scary. But I promise you, it will be worth it. Because when you start taking risks, when you start challenging yourself, when you start pursuing your dreams with everything you have got, that's when life gets exciting. That's when you start to see what you are truly capable of. And let me tell you, what you are capable of is amazing. What you are capable of is extraordinary. What you are capable of will surprise you, inspire you, and change your life in ways you cannot even imagine right now. So do not be afraid to take risks in life. Embrace them, welcome them, see them for what they really are, opportunities to grow, to learn, to become the person you are meant to be. Because at the end of the day, the biggest risk is not failing. The biggest risk is never trying. The biggest risk is looking back on your life and wondering, what if? Do not let that happen to you. Do not let fear hold you back. Do not let doubt keep you from pursuing your dreams. Instead, be brave, be bold, take risks, pursue your passions, because that, my friends, is what life is all about. That's how you create a life of meaning, of purpose, of fulfillment. So go out there and take some risks. Go out there and pursue your dreams. Go out there and create the life you've always wanted, because you can do it. You have the power, you have the potential, you have everything you need within you right now. All you have to do is take that first step. All you have to do is be willing to take the risk. And I promise you, when you do, when you have the courage to take risks, to pursue your dreams, to live life on your own terms, that's when the magic happens. That's when life becomes an incredible adventure. So here's to taking risks. Here's to pursuing dreams. Here's to living life to the fullest, because you deserve nothing less. You deserve to live an extraordinary life. You deserve to see what you are truly capable of. And it all starts with being willing to take risks. It all starts with being willing to step out of your comfort zone, to face your fears, to pursue your dreams with everything you have got. So go out there and take some risks. Go out there and create the life you have always dreamed of, because you can do it. I believe in you. Now it's time for you to believe in yourself.